Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 2 of the Fellowship Presidents Network event, live from Skyland, London. Please give a huge round of applause for our guest presenter tonight, Mr. Andrew Barton.
Hello everyone! Hello everybody! You guys at the back, come down the front! You guys at the front, get nearer to the front! Let's make room for everybody for this fantastic President's Network evening here at Skylon. You guys at the back, come on, get forward up to the front. We've got a great evening planned with you, with some amazing interviews, with some great people in our industry. You guys at the front, please make some more room for the guys at the back to come and join us. Welcome to the Live Lounge. We've got a fantastic lineup of artists that are going to come up here on the Live Lounge and be interviewed so we can get to know some of their dirty secrets. Would you like that? Would you like that? Fantastic. So to help me during this evening, let's bring up our first guests, our first people up on the stage in the Live Lounge. It's our Lady President, Corinne Jackson. Hello, Corinne.
Hello.
2 kisses. Okay, you sit down, because we've got somebody else to come and join us as well. This guy is a hairdresser that everybody in this room adores and loves. A guy who's had a prolific career, many awards on daytime and national television. Please welcome hairdresser sweetheart, Jamie Stevens! Very good, mate. I'm very good. So here we are in the Live Lounge, and we're broadcasting live on social media. So we want you to get involved with this evening as well. The best way that you can get involved is you guys at the back, shut up! Woohoo! Yeah, so move forward. If you can't see and you can't hear, come and join us up at the front. So, guys, you two have been involved with the Fellowship for many, many years, and you've both had very different journeys during your Fellowship time.
Yes.
Jamie, you've grown up through Fellowship.
I have.
You were with Fame Team, you sat on council, and it's where you met your gorgeous wife through Fellowship as well.
Absolutely.
And you're he's the current Fellowship Hairdresser of the Year. Give it up!
Woo! Thank you.
Listen, when you got that award, what did it mean to you?
Honestly, let me just go back to what Andrew said, like the Fellowship. I'm 37 now, and honestly, you know, yes, like Andrew said.
Did you just say it's the same age as you?
You're not 37. Really? Whatever.
I act shocked then. That's a bit rude when I act shocked that Corinne was 37.
Honest to God, like with everything that I've sort of done and won, and if it was not for the Fellowship for British Hairdressing, I promise you, I would not be the man that I am today. Andrew touched on a few things. I can take it right back to, in 2006, I was in the Fame Team, which honestly, without a doubt, was the biggest platform in my career. And I've spent that time since then literally championing and telling every single body with your younger people, the Fame Team for me is probably the biggest thing that anyone can do. Obviously now it's evolved. We've got things like Project X, Club Star, etc. But also Andrew touched on, I was on the council for quite a few years. And actually, big shout out, we should all put our hands together for Terry Calvert. Yes. So, Terry Calvert, God rest his soul, he was my Fame Team manager, and actually between us, he was the one that set up Club Star, so I was involved in helping that. But also, my wife was in the Fame Team in 2008, so I actually got to meet her, and now we've had a baby. But one of the biggest accolades and most honourable things I've ever won in my life, honest to God. And if anyone saw me pick up the award at the luncheon, I was blown away, had no idea.
I think you cried a little bit, didn't you,
I
Jamie?
cried. My son was only like 3 weeks old, and my wife came.
Is that why you cried? Because you'd not had much sleep because of the baby?
I don't know what it was. It was just emotions. But winning Fellowship Hairdresser of the Year and knowing that it's something that is nominated and you're sort of voted for by your peers, some of the amazing hairdressers in this room, is without a doubt the biggest sort of thing that I've ever done in my whole life.
Fantastic. Big round of applause for Jamie. Guys, if you're sat around the corner, some of the sponsors haven't taken their seats. So there is some seats at the front if you want to come and join us nearer to the front. You know, I think I've been around Jamie at lots of events, and I see a lot of young people asking Jamie, how come you've been so successful? How did it happen for you? What advice would you give to any young people about joining the Fellowship?
Just the big advice is join the Fellowship. I think that is sort of first and foremost. You know, there's loads of other things out there, but for what it costs to become a member, and especially the younger guys, how much is Club Star? So £60, and the amount of talent, you know, within our industry that they put on evenings is incredible. So, yes, lots of people throughout my whole career have always said, you know, Jamie, what advice would you give? How do you get where you are? And honestly, it all relates back to the Fellowship. Join them, get there, go on the events, go in, sort of just use and abuse all of those people that are doing those shows and those courses for you, and just sit back, watch, and learn, basically.
I think that's great. I mean, we all know that Jamie's been incredibly successful in the industry, and that he actually recognises that part of his success, apart from being a grafter and a hard worker and a charmer and lovely blue eyes,
thank you.
The Fellowship have also been a big part of his journey as well. And Karine, I know the Fellowship's been a huge part of your journey, and I think you and I have got like a little secret marriage pact somewhere in that, haven't we?
We have. You started your salon behind me at the same time as me, and you signed me into the Fellowship.
Ooh.
So, yes, thank you, Andrew. So I suppose the Fellowship for me as a business owner is it's something that I could have a release from. You know, running your own business can be quite intense and quite difficult. So I started mentoring Project X. It just gives you that real creative flow, which I absolutely loved. And it just took me on a journey that helped me. And, you know, I've got some really close friends, and, you know, when you need advice, it really is a community. And I've said that word a few times tonight, but I completely mean it. And I've just sort of, as a business person, grown up through the Fellowship, like Jamie.
That's right.
There's somebody there for you all the time.
And I think that's important for us all as salon owners and managers that run salons and teams. It can be really stressful at times. We all know that feeling of angst when we just need somebody else that we can talk to. And, you know, the very word Fellowship, that means about being together with kind of one vision and one cause. And you mentioned there Project X. I mean, there's a lot of people here tonight. You're talking to the converted, Karine. But what is Project X?
Well, Project X is a year-long mentoring course that you go through, and we get some amazing artists. You know, over the years, I don't know who's doing it at the moment, but you've got Tim Hartley, Zoe Irwin, Caroline Sanders, the Rush team, the Hob team, Tony and Guy team. You know, they're all there, the Sassoon team. And this is just, you just wouldn't get this anywhere else for the price that you pay for it.
So this is something where salons, regardless of your size or how many people are in that salon, you can access some of the fantastic education training programs.
You really can. And, you know, I'm quite a small salon, even though I've been going 15 years. But my team have gone through the Colour Project, absolutely loved it. Club Star, they do all the courses. And it really is great for them. They're all out here as well. They're here tonight, so give them a big cheer. Yeah. Woo-woo. And it really does pull us all together and make us work in a happy environment.
What a great word, Fellowship. Do you know, it really is what our industry is all about. It's one of the things that we all love about our industry.
Honestly, I don't think... So, guys, I think with this, like everybody in this room, obviously with this event, I think... I just want to take a moment that with what Karine has done since she's been president, obviously the whole female power, I think actually changing this whole thing of, you know, President's Night rather than just a sit down, you know, making it much more of a social event and a networking event, and actually doing this, moving with the times. You know, it's live, it's being streamed to Christ knows how many people. I think everybody needs to give Karine a massive, massive, massive round of applause. Woo!
It's about you here, Jamie, not me. So
no, don't
you.
be silly. Don't be silly.
Anyway, we're lucky to have you here tonight in between nappy changing duties
Yes.
and pushing the pram and rocking the cot. Baby Rudy is gorgeous, Jamie.
Well,
and you have got matching outfits.
he takes after his dad, doesn't he?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So how's it been having a child and running a business and running a successful brand and being Mr. Jamie Stevens? How are you dealing with the babs in the house?
Do you know what, guys? I've been, you know, I think I said it on the stage. I was so overwhelmed. I am, you know, a very down-to-earth hairdresser. I eat, sleep, and drink what I do, and I absolutely love our industry. And, you know, for years and years, you know, I'm sure this happens to each and every one of you in the room. Lots of people will say, you know, when you've got a salon, you're at a kind of a point in your career. Other people outside of that bubble will say you're so lucky. And honestly, I'm not lucky. We're not lucky. The harder we work, the luckier we get. But I've said it in a couple of magazines. I did a really personal interview with Professional Hairdresser, where I kind of shared a lot of stuff without going into too much detail, but with work and personal life, it's been super tough. It actually took me and my wife 5 years to actually have a baby, but even though you go through all of that sort of stress and emotion, being, you know, like a face, you know, and a brand, I still had to continue doing what I was doing, so have that switch off of personal and business. But becoming a dad, honestly, is like the best thing in my life, and I would give up everything without a doubt. So,
big round of applause to a good dad there. And you know, there's many people in this room tonight that are juggling careers, businesses, and family. So it's great to hear from a new person in the family ilk who's kind of got a kid as well now. So amazing. You?
Yes, I know. He will definitely, he's not going to have a choice. He will be a hairdresser.
He'll be a hairdresser.
Okay? Trust me, he will be a hairdresser.
Okay, so the live lounge is being broadcast live. I just want to say a big thank you to those people at the back that have shut up.
Quiet,
because
guys.
there's people at the front that are really enjoying tonight and want to listen. Please give a big round of applause for our first guest in the live lounge, Karine Jackson and Jamie Stevens. So, we also know that, you know, some of Jamie's career was, you be careful what you're trying to snatch underneath there. Get down, yeah. So we also know that a lot of Jamie's career has been involved with competitions, awards. So tonight what we thought we wanted to do is introduce you to some people that have worked very hard and have won some major awards in the industry recently, and share with you some of their vision and excitement about winning their awards. So next up on stage, from one of the most prestigious awards in the hairdressing industry, please welcome Darren Oram from L'Oreal Professional and Sarah Black, winner of the L'Oreal Colour Trophy, to the stage. Hey, Sarah. Thank you. Hi, Darren. Thank you. Now, I'm really intrigued with this because I was at the Colour Trophy when I saw Sarah win, and we were outside having a secret cigarette before she was announced as winner, and I said, I think you can win a good chance, you know, I think you look fantastic. And then afterwards, we came back after another cigarette, and you were overjoyed. How did it feel when your name was made the L'Oreal Colour Trophy Winner of the Year? How did it feel, Sarah?
Honestly, the most amazing night of my life. Like, I genuinely walked in there not expecting that to happen for me. I did something that I considered not very L'Oreal, and could not believe the outcome. It was honestly overwhelming. Overwhelming is probably the main word for me.
Well, you did a fantastic, fantastic look. Here we've got you on the screen winning that night. Look how exciting. And it was a fantastic, big round of applause to Sarah Black, winner of the L'Oreal Colour Trophy. Tell us a little, other than kind of winning that award, tell us a little bit about your salon and where you work.
So I am the colour expert at Linton & Mac up in Aberdeen. And yeah, I'm on the education team there. And I'm part of like the creative team that are working in the salon to do as much as we can to get ourselves out there. And I'm helping.
Still watching the background winning look with that trophy up in the air.
It's so heavy. It was so heavy. But yeah, I'm just trying to help the girls. My bosses, Jennifer and Jay, keep themselves out there and get ourselves out on the map.
Fantastic. And Darren, I mean, you worked with L'Oreal Professional for many years and you've seen various winners. What was the thing about Sarah's win that was stuck in your mind?
Well, I guess with the L'Oreal Colour Trophy in the 62nd year when Sarah won, that's the really exciting thing with the Colour Trophy, that actually what the winner will be, we never know. And Sarah took an amazing chance, and it was incredible. The green mullet, it won the heart. So absolutely such a deserved winner, and it's definitely a case of setting new trends and doing something different.
And L'Oreal Professional, I mean, you must be very proud of your winner each year of the Colour Trophy.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Does Sarah have to give that huge trophy back next year when somebody else wins it?
I'm not giving it back.
You're not keeping it?
We've got to get off
it.
I'm hiding it.
That's what I said to Jane Lewis Hall when I won British Hairdresser of the Year, but she made me give it back.
Hiding it.
Yes, yes. Sarah, a slightly personal question, and there's probably a lot of people in this room that throughout your career you've maybe looked up to or aspired to. Who is it in the industry that kind of really rocks your boat? Andrew Barton? No, who is it in the industry that really rocks your boat?
I mean, obviously endless. There's so many people out there that I look up to. I think one person for me that I always feel like inspired by would be Eugene Solomon. And I mean, honestly, it's so hard to obviously kind of pick a couple people, but I'm very like blessed that I get to work around like a really aspiring team every day that I look up to, the people I work with. I'm on the ID artist team, so I'm also surrounded by very talented people.
There you go.
So they're always like inspiring me to keep moving and keep improving on myself.
And this is really personal, because I think when we see somebody win an award, we want to know a bit more about that person as well. So in 3 words, how would you describe yourself, darling?
I'm obsessive.
Obsessive?
Obsessive, but in a good way.
Okay. Obsessive about what?
Like I throw myself in. I'm not an obsessive clean freak. I'm really messy.
So not obsessive weirdo?
No.
No. Right, okay.
But I am like, as soon as I've got a project, I am like tunnel vision until I get it done. Yeah.
Forward and focused.
Completely.
Good piece of advice. Forward and focused.
Forward and focused. Wouldn't like to think I am, but I'm very particular.
Okay.
You know, I'm not going to say fussy because that's, you know, annoying, but particular.
Okay.
And I would have to say that I'm super passionate. I'm very passionate about what I do.
Okay, and working with the people that you work with
Absolutely,
as well. Training that next generation of
Yes,
people.
I get to go to work every day and do what I love, so why wouldn't you be passionate about that?
Okay. And Darren, I've got one more final question for you. What do you love about your job at L'Oreal Professional?
You know what, one of the most exciting parts of working for L'Oreal is the Colour Trophy, and the fact that we start the live tour again this Sunday. It's an incredible competition. It's amazing to be part of it. I'm lucky to be part of that, so that's it.
And I understand the regional L'Oreal Colour Trophy tour is in progress?
Yeah, starts this Sunday. Sunday for Western Region.
And the grand final, I know many of us will be there, sipping champagne and making small talk in our dinner jackets.
Absolutely.
The 4th of June.
Yeah, 4th of June at Battersea Evolution.
Battersea Evolution. So there you go. Tickets still on sale?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So you've got a chance to get your tickets. Listen, crowd, will you give Sarah Black and Darren Oram from L'Oreal Professional a big round of applause. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. So staying with that theme of competition, we have another talented winner of one of our industry accolades. Please welcome onto stage Lydia Wolf, the winner of the Goldwell Colour Zoom, and Mark from Goldwell. Please come and join us. Hi, Lydia. Hey, Mark. Oh, okay, okay. Do you know, I thought that was very polite as well, because L'Oreal Professional applauded Goldwell, and Goldwell applauded L'Oreal Professional, so isn't that good, that fellowship? Yes, right, okay, I'll let you do that one. Yes. So, do you want to come a bit closer to me and pick up a microphone? Yes? So, Lydia, you won the Goldwell Colour Zoom, and here we've got you on the stage, look. That's you, looking gorgeous there and looking gorgeous tonight.
Thank you.
What an achievement. Can you tell us a little bit how you felt when you won? When you won! Oh. You won it!
Oh, honestly, like, people have asked me this question so many times. It was in October, so that I've had months to think about the answer to that question, and I still don't know the answer. It was just amazing. It was incredible.
And you must have thought, when you won it, I mean, obviously a great start for your career, Lydia.
Thank you.
And, you know, what's your head been like since you've won it? What have you been thinking about for your career?
So much more driven. It's a springboard for young hairdressers and all hairdressers. If you thought that you had something before, then you just have so much more confidence in yourself afterwards. That's the whole point of these things, is to put yourself forwards and put yourself out there, and it's a huge risk, but when it comes through, it's amazing.
And entering a competition, you know, for some people in the audience tonight who are thinking about entering one of our great trade competitions, what's the biggest piece of advice that you give? What did you learn from it about preparation? And
first of all, just do it. Because if you think that you aren't good enough, do it anyway. And secondly, work really hard and listen to everyone around you, listen to every piece of advice, and just soak everything in and just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Don't worry about what's going to happen. Just enjoy the experience.
Great advice there. I totally agree. Can we do a high five on that? Because I completely agree with you. I think that's great advice. Mark, and what advice would you give people entering the industry?
Great question. I know we're live, so a few pointers. The first is choose the model wisely, right? Spend some time choosing your model. This is your canvas for your creativity. So as much as you must love your Auntie Margaret, she might not be the best model. So go out to the malls, go into the streets, go into the shopping centres, go into the schools, go and choose your model wisely. The second piece is read the entry form. And once you've read the entry form, read it again. Every competition has its own little nuances. So please follow the rules. You don't want to be disqualified before you even start. The third piece is what I would say is our industry is full of fabulous industry bodies, Fellowship being one of them. Take a look around tonight. This is a Monday night in central London. We have here the who's who of hairdressing. Join the Fellowship, come to these events, you get access to these, come to these events and tap the who's who of hairdressing. Tap Andrew on the shoulder, Errol, Bruno, tap them on the shoulder and ask them what advice would you give them. The last piece I would say is enjoy it. Enjoy every single part of it. Enjoy going for the model. Enjoy the entry form. Enjoy the description of what your hair's all about. Because it doesn't matter whether you win it or whether you get through to the finals or whatever. It's a fabulous opportunity and it's a fabulous stage for you to actually show your creativity and also your salons.
Amazing advice there. I think you're right. I mean, winning a competition is one thing, but it's about what you do with it next. We've got a little video that we're going to share about when you won on that night, and that would be amazing for us to see kind of your celebration and jubilation of winning such a great award. Amazing,
was it tears as well?
Yeah, tears, I'm sure. Yes. Yes. Have we got the video? Here we go.
Colourzoom has been incredible. The whole journey's been amazing.
It's a privilege to be judging this competition because it's like no other competition. And I think this stage is amazing because we're seeing how the formulas are going on, we're seeing how they're doing their sections, we can see the excitement.
So the Stylist Favourite Award is like a People's Choice Award that the public and other stylists can vote for online from all over the world. Leading up to the competition, so they can see all of the entries and compare them to each other and pick their personal favourites.
Amazing. Big round of applause, please, for Lydia, winner of Goldwall Colourzoom, and for Mark. And you're right, please will you say your surname, because I couldn't
Gianandrea.
There you go, now we all know it. Big round of applause. Thank you for being our guest in the live lounge. That was amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so our final guests of this evening up onto stage. And I guess some would consider probably the ultimate hairdressing award, the British Hairdresser of the Year. Please would you welcome onto stage from Hairdressers Journal, editor and publisher-in-chief, Jane Lewis Hall. Jane Lewis Hall, where are you? Are you here? Here she is. Or to those that know her well, J-Lo on speed dial. Take a seat, Jane. And former British Hairdresser of the Year, it gives me great pleasure and delight to introduce you to the one and only Darren Ambrose! He's asking me how I am. I'm dying for a gin and tonic. How are you?
Dying for a gin and tonic.
For a gin and tonic, okay. Good to see you both up here. Thank you very much for joining. Just be careful. And you just be careful in that short skirt. All right, okay. They look fabulous. You look quite a nice couple, actually, you two together. Have you gone blonde underneath that hat?
No, I've gone grey.
You've gone grey?
Yes, very grey.
Have you? Okay.
I won't take this off.
Why not? I think we want to flash, Darren. Yes.
There's a throw going on under there.
So, when you won British Hairdresser of the Year, I was in the room like many people. And I saw that look on your face because it was amazing.
Well, you've been there too, right?
I swore a lot when I won, didn't I, Jane?
Andrew was the most sweary British Hairdresser of the Year.
And I have to tell you a little secret as well. My mother was a chronic asthmatic. She didn't have her inhaler with her. And when I was announced as British Hairdresser of the Year, she had an asthma attack as well. So I don't know if that was a good or a bad thing. But anyway, regardless, how did it feel when you was named the British Hairdresser of the Year? It's Darren Ambrose!
Well, it's the same kind of thing. It's like one of those things where you go into a bubble. Like it's a really surreal moment. You know, when you hear your name, but you don't hear it. And then I think I spent about 20 minutes with my head on the table. You know, like thinking, what's going on? And then it clicks in. It's amazing, though. Absolutely amazing.
And kind of after the party and after the celebration and after that bruise on your leg the next day because you'd been carrying that trophy around, all of this, it's really heavy, I can tell you. What did you think? What did you think, what am I going to do with this?
Well, I think that's a really good question. I think when on the run-up, it's such a lot of work, such a lot of like information you have to put across to a winning collection, or like putting your persona across. And I think the next day, it hits home. But I think one thing that I would say is you have to have a good strategy just in case you do win. Like, you never go into it, you go into it wanting to win, but you've got to also make sure you've got something put in place. So you can use that as a good vehicle and a PR vehicle. Because for what the guys, Hairdressers Journal do and Schwarzkopf, to sponsor that amazing thing, it's incredible. But if you don't use it correctly, it can be, you know, not the great vehicle that that it should be.
I think that's a good point, and I think we should absolutely give credit to Schwarzkopf, because, you know, they are very much the visionary behind this award. And, you know, they think in terms of the long-term future of everybody that's involved. And let's get something off the record, and let's get the elephant out of the room. The people that win the regional finals, the grand major British Hairdresser, they're not necessarily Schwarzkopf accounts. It's all kind of league. Jane, what do you think about that?
Yeah, just to clarify that, actually, Schwarzkopf have been our partner since we launched 33 years ago. And they are phenomenal, but they have no input into the judging process, and neither do Hairdressers Journal. So the judging is run really strictly, it's very tightly controlled. You know, you guys judge, and you're not allowed to speak to each other, there's no conferring, we have independent auditors. It's done with the absolute integrity to make sure the right people win the right trophies.
And what's winning is what the judges put down, not what Schwarzkopf decide is the winner.
Or that we decide. It's absolutely what those judges decide. So actually, if people have an issue with not winning, they need to take it up with the judges.
Well, that's the integrity of Hairdressers Journal, and also the integrity of a brand like Schwarzkopf as well. So incredible. Tell us, in terms of kind of putting together a collection of pictures, it's going to be judged. So where does your heart sit when you do those pictures? Do you do it for you, Darren, or do you do it because, oh, they're going to judge it?
No, most definitely for yourself. Well, for me anyway. I think because you're putting out a big financial input into the shoot, I think when I walk into the studio, it's got to be something that comes from the heart. And I think if you're pleased with what you produce and you feel something there, then that's everything. I think if someone loves it, that's a bonus. If they don't, it's like art. It's really critical. So you can't really get your head too much into that gear. It's more about what you're loving in that moment.
Good advice. I like that. I might start thinking about that myself. Very nice. Listen, I think we can spend all night here talking. The bar's going to be open till late. The very nature of fellowship is about being together. You know, the whole point of this evening, the vision from the council, from Madam President, was very much about kind of a different President's Night. And I think you'll agree, big round of applause to the fellowship who have actually done something different, have created a different event for us as an industry. So to finish off your interviews, I'm going to ask you some quite personal questions. Let's get down and dirty for the last interviews. Biggest mistake that you've ever made in the industry?
Oh, biggest mistake. Probably about 13 years old, starting to smoke.
Okay, right, okay. Biggest mistake you made in the industry? Going out in Blackpool with Andrew Barton and ending up in hospital. Yeah.
Actually, going out with Andrew Barton full stop was probably a mistake because it always ends badly. I think sometimes it's really difficult not to take things personally, because if you really care about it, I think hairdressers are the same and we're the same. So it's kind of trying to distance yourself from that emotion sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
Amazing. And a place, a great source of inspiration for you, Darren?
The street. Definitely the street. And also like all the art galleries around, which is a normal one, I would say.
There's some great exhibitions at the moment.
Yeah, amazing.
Including one called B.I.'s Bobs and Blow Dries coming to London very shortly. Yes. Jane, in terms of inspiration, where do you find you get your inspiration from? And don't say, my team.
Well, my team, absolutely. But actually my family, because they give me the support that means I can do this job. So it would be the team, but obviously the family too.
And what's your biggest piece of advice that you would give to a hairdresser looking for fresh ideas?
For fresh ideas, I would just say keep your ears open all the time. Listen to everybody and don't run before you can walk. Just take everything in and absorb it, do it. Use the craft for the best of its ability, and all the icons out there and the people that are educating, they're there for a reason. So utilize that and you'll be the best and an icon one day too.
Okay, I think that's a good point, and I think it's not only about listening. Social media is a great source of inspiration for all of us, and I saw Angelo Vallalio the other week on talking about kind of just spend a few more seconds looking at something. Because if you spend a little bit more time looking at it, whether it's that champagne flute, whether it's Jane's earrings, you're going to get kind of a different view on it rather than first glance. Okay. You two have been fantastic guests in our lounge live, our live lounge even, here at President's Network. Please give it up. Please give it up to Jane Louise Hoare and Darren Ambrose. Yes, nearly. Yes, you walked off and you forgot her completely. Yes. Guys, I hope that you've had a great evening. The night is definitely not over, but my turn, my Graham Norton presentation is over. That was part of my brief tonight, just be Graham Norton on stage. So I think it's a due from me for now. I will see you at the bar, and thank you for being a lovely audience. Thank you.